The latest episode trailer once again made viewers' hearts race, and in today's video, we're not only going to explain why Claudius attacked Sophia's soldiers in Bursa, but we'll also dive into the heartbreaking events that Gonka Hatun faces and reveal Orhan Bey's daring plan against the Mongol. Along with that, we'll explore how Osman Bey fights with unwavering loyalty to protect his family, his tribe, and his ally. Be sure to watch the video until the end, because we'll be covering all the major developments, emotional moments, and important events that are likely to unfold in episode 189. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, now is the perfect time. Hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of our exciting and informative video. Now, let's get into one of the key issues, the intense clash between Claudius and Sophia's commander, Hristo. According to the trailer, this confrontation takes place within Bursa, where Sophia's loyal soldiers, under Hristo's leadership, are seen battling Claudius. This scene makes it clear that Sophia is still alive. If she weren't, a devoted follower like Hristo would have surrendered and accepted Claudius as the new leader. But since Hristo and his men continue to fight, it's obvious Sophia's supporters are still resisting in her name. The real question is, why did Claudius attack? The answer could very well shift the direction of the story. It appears that Claudius secretly allied himself with the Mongol commander Tsar. Upon learning that Sophia was severely wounded and her forces were weakened, he seized the opportunity to try and capture Bursa. He launched his attack against Sophia's remaining soldiers. However, even without their leader present, Hristo's troops fought back bravely. Although Claudius might gain a temporary advantage, once Sophia recovers, Osman Bey will undoubtedly step in to assist. After all, Sophia had once saved Osman Bey's daughter, Halim, by throwing herself in harm's way and suffering severe injury. Following this great act of sacrifice, Osman Bey made a pact with Sophia, promising her his support. Because of this strong alliance, Osman Bey would never abandon her, and together they will likely reclaim Bursa from Claudius. Now, turning to Gonka Hatun and Aladdin's story, it's clear from the trailer that both are desperately trying to escape captivity. Unfortunately, Aladdin is recaptured, but Gonka, despite being wounded, manages to break free. During this time, Aladdin is praying for his wife, hoping that nothing will stand in her way. However, his fears are realized when Gonka is struck by an arrow, a moment that will surely break the hearts of viewers. What will happen to Gonka now? Will she be captured again, or will she make it back to the tribe? It's at this very point that the story takes a dramatic turn. While Orhan is already on the move to save his brother, Bala Hatun, together with her daughter Halim, also rushes to come to Aladdin's aid. At this critical moment, Halim's character steps into the spotlight. She is determined to make up for her past mistakes by standing beside her mother and acting brave. Most likely, as Gonka lies wounded and unconscious on the ground, either Orhan will reach her first, or Bala and Halim will find her. Bala Hatun's instincts as a mother will kick in, and she will make sure Gonka is carried back to the tribe for treatment. And here, another major secret will be revealed: Gonka is pregnant. This revelation will add an extra layer of emotional intensity to the episode because it means that while her husband remains in prison, Gonka is not only wounded but also expecting a child. From this point forward, the fight for Osman Bey will no longer be just a battle for land, it will become a deeply personal struggle. He will not only be fighting for his tribe's future but for the honor and survival of his family as well. As the season finale approaches, it's possible that Osman Bey will receive news of not just one, but two grandchildren. Alongside Gonka's pregnancy, Halim, Bala Hatun's daughter, may also be expected. If this comes to pass, the season could end on a hopeful note after so much turmoil and conflict. Turning back to Orhan, he has devised a dangerous and secret plan to rescue his brother. As he has said himself, unless he faces the Mongols personally, Aladdin's resentment will not be healed. These words reveal just how deeply Orhan cares for his brother. Accompanied by his most loyal men, Orhan will reach the Mongol camp and may execute a surprise attack to free Aladdin. Once Aladdin is rescued, the two brothers will embrace, leaving behind all their pain and misunderstandings, and their return to the tribe will be met with great joy. In the episodes that follow, we will witness Osman Bey preparing his sons for leadership. His role will grow even stronger, not just as a bey but also as a father. Osman Bey's willingness to make every sacrifice for his family will surprise even his enemy. Dear viewers, all these developments show that in episode 189, it won't just be about battles, emotions, loyalty, sacrifice, and relationships will reach their peak. Every moment will carry deep meaning, and every scene will leave its mark. What about you? Do you think Orhan will succeed in saving Aladdin? Will Gonka survive? Can Osman Bey unite with Sophia and reclaim Bursa? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. As Orhan and his trusted men approached the Mongol camp, every step they took was measured, every glance was sharp. The night wrapped them in its cloak of darkness, but their hearts burned with a clear purpose. They knew this was not just about freeing Aladdin, it was about keeping the bond of brotherhood unbroken. Orhan signaled his men, and silently, like shadows in the mist, they moved in closer. Watching the guards' patterns, they waited for the right moment. When it came, they struck swiftly, overwhelming the guards before an alarm could be raised. Inside one of the tents, Aladdin, still chained but refusing to show weakness, felt a sudden shift in the air. He lifted his head just as Orhan entered, sword in hand, a fierce light in his eyes. Without a word, Orhan slashed through the chain. For a heartbeat, they stared at each other, no words needed. Then Aladdin nodded, and together they ran into the night, escaping into the forest where their loyal men were waiting. Back at the tribe, Bala Hatun and Halim returned, carrying Gonka between. The healer women rushed forward, and Gonka was immediately taken into care. Bala Hatun stayed by her side, refusing to leave her even for a moment. The healer's face grew serious after examining her wound. Bala Hatun braced herself for bad news, but instead, the healer whispered the unexpected truth: Gonka was with child. Bala Hatun closed her eyes briefly, gathering strength. The responsibility to protect Gonka and her unborn child was now even greater. Word soon spread through the tribe. Osman Bey, upon hearing the news, fell into deep thought. His fists clenched, not out of anger but out of a father's deep protective instinct. It was no longer a simple matter of reclaiming lost ground or defeating an enemy. It was about securing the future of his family, ensuring that no harm would ever again threaten what they held dear. He called his warriors and began preparations for a larger campaign, one that would send a clear message to their enemies: whoever dared to threaten his bloodline would pay a heavy price. Meanwhile, Orhan and Aladdin moved cautiously through the forest. Though Aladdin was weak, he refused to be carried. His pride would not allow it. As they neared the tribal lands, scouts from the tribe found them and guided them safely back. When they finally crossed into the familiar territory of their homeland, the tension that had gripped their hearts eased. As they entered the tribe, the people gathered, tears in their eyes. The sight of the two brothers, battered but alive, filled the hearts of the tribe with hope. Osman Bey met them at the center of the camp. No grand speeches were made. He simply placed his hands on their shoulders and said, "You have returned with honor." It was enough. In that moment, no words could capture the relief, the pride, and the love that bound them together. Later that night, around the fires, plans were quietly laid out. Osman Bey knew that to ensure lasting peace, they would need to strike back decisively. Claudius, now aligned with the Mongols, had become a serious threat, and Sophia, still recovering, would need their help more than ever. The upcoming battles would not be just for land, they would be for survival, for legacy. In the women's tents, Gonka slowly opened her eyes. Her face was pale, and her body weak, but when she saw Bala Hatun sitting beside her, a soft smile touched her lips. Bala Hatun leaned in and whispered, "Rest, my daughter. You are safe now." Tears welled up in Gonka's eyes, but they were not tears of sorrow. They were tears of gratitude, for life, for her unborn child, and for the family that had fought to bring her back. Meanwhile, Halim sat quietly, her hands resting on her stomach. She had not yet told anyone, but she too carried new life within her. She prayed silently, asking for strength to be worthy of the future that was forming within her. The night passed with a sense of heavy but hopeful silence over the tribe. Tomorrow would bring new battles, new challenges, but for now, they allowed themselves to breathe, to heal, and to prepare. Osman Bey stood alone on the hilltop, looking out into the vast darkness. He knew the path ahead would be filled with hardship, but he also knew that as long as they stood together, brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, no enemy could ever truly defeat. With Allah's help, the light of their cause would burn brighter than ever.